record. All right, so here we said that the to exemplify a postgraduate research conducted by a colleague at work on individual successes in companies reveals that 90% of workers who consistently show the right attitude get usually commended and promoted to managerial levels over their highly qualified colleagues with nothing more but grades, nothing more but good grades. Thus, this has shown the relevance of degrees to life success. So I hope this is understood. All right. So then to conclude, this is how you do your conclusion. Number one, you restate the thesis. You remember the thesis is I agree, or in my opinion, I believe character is more important to success than character. You restate that thesis. That thesis where you state this is the reason why you are writing what you're writing, what your essay is going to be about. That's your thesis. You restate it. Number two, you summarize the points. And again, the summary of points is optional. The reason being that this one is just 2 points. It can be summarized easily. But what if you have 6 points? It's going to be cumbersome summarizing the points. And sometimes when you are in dire need of time, you are at the last maybe 3 minutes of your time, and you have not even proofread. So summarizing points may become very optional. Even recommendation at that point when you are in the last 3 minutes of your writing task 2 time, recommendation or advice may not be necessary. Just restate the statements and go back and proofread. But my students should know that they are meant to have finished their work, their active writing of task 2, about 30 minutes and the dot of 30 minutes, so that 10 minutes can be used to do a good and thorough proofreading. At most, 5 minutes should be used. You should have finished by 35 minutes. The 5 minutes should be used to do good and thorough proofreading. All right, so restate thesis, summarize points, and do a recommendation or advice, which is summarize points is optional. So to conclude, it is fitting to submit that good attitude holds a pride of place in considering success as against school degree. Thus, anyone who hopes to become great, that's my advice, should build strength in character, full stop. And that's the end. Okay? So that is how I think you should write. From your introduction, from your outline, you must do strategy 1. And final strategy is proofreading. You must proofread. Strategy number 7, you must proofread. Remember that the reason why I want my students to proofread is that you must proofread your work. Is that, when we are talking about points, okay. Let me recap that. The reason why you must proofread, and when we're talking about grades, band score, that between 7.0, especially for academics, which is 30 over 40, and what's it called now? 7.5, we start on the dot of 30, I think 33 or 32 or 33. It's just 2 marks difference or 3 marks different at most. And if it is 2 marks or 3 marks different, your proofreading can give you that extra mark. Maybe you proofread and you said something out of the, different, something that is not correct. Then you basically corrected yourself. And when you corrected yourself, you became better. you see you wrote what you wrote became better, you are likely going to score a little higher than if you had not proofread. So it is very, very important for you to proofread your work after you are done writing. Okay? So you read for error. Proofreading is when you are reading for error to correct yourself. You read from beginning, from the first word of your introduction to the last word of your conclusion. To read and correct your errors. Maybe you made grammar errors, correct the grammar error. You made spelling error, correct. You made some errors in using the appropriate grammar. You change it to the appropriate one. There was a particular vocabulary you employed that is not quite absolute or quite useful. You change it to a useful one. I hope you understand what I mean by proofreading.
Yes, sir. But I want to ask.
Yes.
In your own conclusion now,
yes.
Where is the restated thesis? Where is the summarized point? Though you showed us the recommendation.
It is fitting to submit that good attitude hold a pride of place in considering success as against school degrees. Mm-hmm. That's one way to restate your thesis. Some people will say, to conclude, this essay has been able to show reasons why I think good attitude is quite important in considering success as against character. You know, some people will do it that way. All right. Then recommendation, I'm giving advice. So therefore, anyone who hopes to become great should build strength in character. That's my recommendation. I hope you understand me now.
Yes, sir. All this statement, like, what is the reason why? Is it correct?
Reason why? The reason why may not be correct. So it's not correct. So one has to look for a way around. I hope I've not made that mistake, and that's why you're.
You also made that mistake now.
Huh?
That's why. You made that mistake. That's why.
So, okay. Let me see. Is it here? Give reasons for which I think.
No, you said it. You said it out, not like you wrote.
You wrote it down. Oh, okay. Well, there's a higher tendency that we write better than we speak. So, if I said it, it just comes out without thinking. But whatever I'm putting down, I most likely would think about it very well before. You know, you can't do that. It's not correct. All right. So, do we have any other question? Everybody should ask question. No, you paid money. You ask question. No. Mrs. Falade, wait, was that you talking to me the previous time?
No, sir.
So do you understand what we have done so far?
Not really, I'm not really.
Okay.
I'll check the record.
Okay. Okay. Mrs. Oshodi, no, we're together. Do you understand so far?
Yes, we are together. So I just want to say something again. I want to ask, okay, from this conclusion, like to conclude, yes, it is fitting to submit that good attitude. Can we just paraphrase? Will I say paraphrase our own thesis?
Yes, you are meant to paraphrase the thesis. It shouldn't come in exactly the way you put it there.
You put it initially.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Mr. Joseph, are we together? Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You are always keeping quiet in class, ma. All right. I think it's a temperamental
For
thing.
me personally, I think this class is not something you just understand. This one we just finished today. It's something you need to go back yourself and read about it first.
Okay.
Me, I
Okay.
can't really understand it unless I read it.
But the ones you have done before now, did you go back to them and that was when you understood, or is that what you're saying?
I didn't go back to them. But the first one, I went back to the work. But this particular one of today, you cannot get it unless you read again and again and again.
Okay. Don't you just make sure you do your duty
It's when you start writing examples, you will now get to understand more of it.
more. Okay.
Yes,
To me,
yes,
that
that's
is what
just
I
it.
believe.
But to me, I
Okay.
need to read again. To me,
No, definitely you will read to be able to like maybe answer another question that comes in this format. That's maybe a kind
yes.
of question comes in this format. You need to like, okay, this is how to place it, your reasons, your
Yeah.
examples, and everything, conclusion.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. We need to understand also that individuals have different approaches. But let me say this. If you don't understand and maybe you will not go back to it again, I can always explain myself. But if you think, even if I explain, the going back to it is what will do it for you, please go back to it. And whenever you have a question while you are going over it again, don't hesitate to chat me up. Chat me up concerning it. And if I can respond immediately, I'll do. If I can't, I will give you this thing. Typically, I respond faster to texts in chats in the mornings, typically. So, like somebody sent me a what's it called now from in the morning, and I didn't respond. I've not responded. I just checked what you sent, and what she sent is not something I can respond to immediately. And she said no response to my essay. I was just like, another student, not a student in this class, and I was just like, you know that if I have to respond to essays, I can't respond to essays during the day because I will be in class, and I have about 5 students going into the exam this weekend. I have 2 online students and 3 physical students going into the exam this weekend. So that means that for those ones who have been physical students, okay, that makes 7. No, oh God, I miss. Why I'm saying that is that I have a couple that I taught in Egbeda in Lagos, and those people, just because of coronavirus, they did not pay attention to their writing. And of course, when you have millionaires, they are millionaires, so they are not in a rush. Nothing is pursuing them. So they have companies, they have they have businesses in Lagos. The wife herself is millionaire on her own, regardless of whatever amount her husband has and all of that. So she has chains of businesses and all of that. So nothing is pursuing them. So I taught them before the beginning of lockdown. I taught them last year before the beginning of lockdown 2022, around February, March. I taught them. And I've been saying since they lifted the lockdown, go back into the class and all of that. They didn't check me until recently they called me up and I said, okay, you now want to go into the examination hall. I just hope you are not going to go and throw away money. In my mind, I didn't tell them that though. You people are not going to throw away money. And in my mind, I was saying, even if you throw away money, you will not know that you threw you because for both of you, it's 174,000 naira. So 100 and what, maybe 69 or whatever. So, and all of a sudden, they just called me this morning that they booked their exam. You can imagine, I haven't taught them about over a year ago, and they are saying they want to just yes, they have read. They said they have read. They said they have read. They have done practices and one to throw 79,000 times 2 is not too much for them, so it's no big deal. So, and they said they are going to, they just called me this morning. They called me this morning, and I told them that I was going to give them an extra class. They called me this morning and they were asking me whether I could come to Lagos today. I said, no, it not be like that. They do them. Students are coming to my office today, and I'm going to drill them, get them ready, well prepped for exam this weekend. So you can't just hijack me and say I should start coming to Lagos. So if I have the chance, I'll give you guys online class tomorrow morning, and I mean tomorrow evening. And tomorrow evening, I'm sure they will know. It's then tomorrow evening they will know that they have lost money. They are going in to throw away money. I taught them a year ago, more than February, March. So that's why I just remember that I have 2 more students and they are a couple. So I have 7 students going into the examination hall this weekend, and as I'm keeping them on their toes, I'm also keeping myself on my toes and making sure that I dot every I's, cross every T's, so that they can come out well. So if you send anything to me during the day and I don't respond, you would understand. So, and I typically respond faster to chats in the morning. Okay. Sometimes I don't do that. If I wake up late, like it's likely that I'm going to wake up late and I will have to be in my office by 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, because I have somebody coming around, coming to class 7 a.m. So, for example, tomorrow I may not respond to chats until maybe the person is gone and before the next class and all of that. So they are this, but typically, I'll respond to your text. So if your way of getting it correctly is to go back to read them over and over again, to watch them over and over again, please do. But as soon as you have a question, I'm just a chat away. Don't hesitate. Don't hesitate. Please don't hesitate, because it will really, really break my heart that we had the opportunity to explain to ourselves, but we didn't have to utilize every opportunity, and then students went ahead to do something that is not consistent with what I'm expecting. So, having said that, let's do all our due diligence. So, Mrs.
So sorry. So
Yes,
this thing it's applied to all other ones.
no, it doesn't. Okay.
Other types.
I wouldn't say it doesn't, and I wouldn't say it does. Let me say this. Let me say this. If for example, you have an advantages and disadvantages essay, from here, from your outline, advantages, you write advantages, you pick 2 outlines for advantages, 2 outlines for disadvantages. So that means you have 4 outlines in that instead of 2 outlines. I hope you understand. Hello, Mrs. Busari, you asked that question. I hope you are there. Hello, Mrs. Busari, are you still there?
We can hear you. I can hear you.
All right. So, okay. Now, if, for example, you got this question where they say, what are the advantages and disadvantages of the internet? So you would come to this and say, some word icons are university dropouts. So instead of writing 2 points, you write 2 advantages, because it says advantages and disadvantages. You have 2 advantages of internet, 2 disadvantages of the internet. So in this case where you have two points, in that case you'll be having 4. You understand? So 4 points. Here,
yes.
So here you will not take a stance, because it's not one side or the other side, it's the 2 sides. So no taking stance. You understand? So by the time you go on, your introduction, your prompt paraphrase is the same. Your thesis statement we talk about, the thesis statement here was talking about one side over the other. But your thesis statement here will say that you're going to discuss the 2 sides, the advantages and disadvantages. So that is where it changes. Just a little slight change, just some little and slight changes here and there. Then once you have done that, you also go ahead to talk about the body of the essay. In the body of the essay, you talk about the topic sentence, which is advantages number 1. You explain it to an extent. Then you say, moreover, the second advantage, you bring it in. You also talk about it to an extent. If you can, you do your example, and you mini conclude. That means here you have 2 points in each paragraph. Then you do the same thing for the second paragraph. Then you conclude. I hope you understand. So it's not like it's totally different, and it's not like it's exactly the same thing. I hope you understand, Mrs. Busari. Or I hope you understand, class. So we are going to.
What about the thesis of opinion?
With this, okay, does in my opinion, apply to advantages or disadvantages? Is that what you're asking me?
No, I'm asking how to, or you still teach us this?
This is opinion essay. Yes, this is opinion essay. This is opinion essay. But
this one is opinion essay.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. This is what we just did. This one, this type. Opinion essay. This is the one we have been doing for some time.
Okay.
And the approach here also goes here. It also goes here. The same approach also goes here. Yes, the same approach also goes here because it is one side or the other. This one is a bit different. I'm going to explain this one a bit different. By the time you have gotten what we have done today, you have replicated it to me. This is the same, but this one is a bit different. Anywhere you see outweighs is a kind of opinion essay, but it takes a little different approach. Then this one is totally different because you are going to discuss the two sides and they give your opinion. Is this what you are calling opinion essay?
Yeah, like give your opinion. Where they will tell you that if you give your opinion about this, that they will bluntly tell you.
This is it. Hold on, ma. It means you have not been following some things. I need you to, before you ask questions, I think it should be that it's not something I've discussed. This is discuss opinion, both views, and give your opinion. Now let's go back to where I'm coming from again. Okay, this is it. Go back up there. Here, this is the question type says, what do you think? What is your opinion? Is that what you are saying?
Yes, sir.
And that's what we have done. That's what we have been doing for days now.
I mean, how do you write the thesis?
And that is exactly what we did a moment ago. In this essay, I will give reasons. Okay, you are looking for the word opinion. Okay?
Okay.
I mean, okay,
I'll give my opinion.
Okay, in this essay, I will give okay, maybe in my opinions. Some people will say in my opinion. That's an approach. Some people say in this essay, I'll give my opinion on why I think. I give reasons for which I think. I'll give reasons why. I'll give reasons I agree. I will show reasons why I show reasons for my agreement with or that. I will explain, expatiate on my the factors that forms my agreement with blah 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 blah. All these are different ways. It is just stereotypic to always look for a particular pattern. Okay.
Oh,
All right. Yes. So by the time, if I'm going to give you assignments now, by the time we come back from our assignments, I'm going to, after we are done with those assignments, I'm going to be discussing these other types of essay. All right. These other types of essay task 2. Now, let me say this. One of us was asking me that, okay, please, how do we give me tips on this, give me tips on that? And the person wants me to start rushing her. I don't think there's any cause for alarm yet. Okay. So 3 weeks, if by the time we get into August and we have not started talking about what's it called now? Okay, next week is just the last week of this month. But by the first week in August, I think we should always already begin to talk about essays. At least by the second class of the first week in August, we start talking about listening and reading. But then I take my class one step at a time. If you want to go ahead of the class and do listening and reading, you can go ahead and do it. And then you come up to give me and maybe show me, ask me to give you tips on how to become better. I can do that. But then you have to show me that you have been able to, you understood the ones that we have done before now. If you have not done, let's say, your essays very well, I don't just jump into reading. So if you have done your essays very well, I can single you out because your exam is close by and begin to teach you listening and reading. But you have to show me that this one that we have done too is not a waste. You must. So the reward for me teaching you listening and reading is that you do your writing very well. So I will still teach you. Let's not get it twisted. I will still teach, but you want me to teach you ahead of the time I would have started teaching you. Do your listening and reading very well, and then we'll go from there. All right. So your first assignment is, the first set of points, essay you did where you wrote out points. I think you did 5 then. Now you're going to just pick 2. You just pick 2. Let me see. Some people who cannot work with the computer will be disadvantaged. That's number 1. And then nowadays, radio is being replaced by TV and the internet. That's number 2. All right. I think, and write the full essay on it, from introduction, from outline to conclusion. I hope you understand. Now, those of you who work with the computer, with those first 2, in that material I gave you, just work on them and submit them as soon as possible. I hope you understand. Any question? Any question?
None for now.
All right. Please, those of you who are not feeling too well, please take care of yourself. Because I need you to take care of yourselves. I'll not be requiring that you submit your assignment by Friday. So you have till Sunday evening to send in your assignment so that you can take care of yourself. Yes, Mrs. Falade. Mrs. Falade, be fast so that we don't run out of time.
Sir?
Be fast, please, so that we don't run out of time.
Fast, as in?
Be fast, quickly ask your question.
Okay, no, I don't have a question.
But you raised your hand, that's why.
Hey, sorry.
No problem.
Sorry, sir.
So that is that. So in the absence of any question, in the absence of any question, would see on Monday. Please you have till Sunday evening to turn your assignment, and do have a wonderful time. Please, if you are feeling a bit under the weather, Mrs. Bukola and Mrs. Joseph, please take care of yourself. The other people to take care of yourself, be good, and regards to the family.